Oh my gosh, Mr. Eric, I hope you're ready for this evening, dude. It's going to be a good time.
Oh yeah, it's a little technical difficulties to start the show, but that happens.
Hey, sometimes we got to make the folks kind of wait just a second. So, all right, well, guys, welcome to episode 86 of the Drag Driver Pete Show, presented by Summit Racing. Tonight's show jam packed, tons of stuff. Rocky Mountain Race Week, Mega Week 2025 dates and tracks, the Drag and Drive Awards show at PRI, time and room number and date on that. And Jeff Lutz confirms what I've said for a good long while here in a video that Mike Finnegan put out. So, Mr. Eric White, will you hit that intro video when we get to this stuff?
Yeah, let's do it.
We're gonna pack things up and hit the road, try to make it the next day.
Man, I tell you, I'm excited about tonight. Guys, my name is Mike Narks. I'm the host of the Drag Driver Pete Show, which is what you're watching now, and the Drag Driver Pete News, which happens on Saturday mornings. And my right hand man, Mr. Eric White, right here. Dude, tell them what you got going on and what you've been up to.
I am Eric White. I am the co-host of both the show and the news. And as Mike just mentioned, right-hand man, which means I'm helping with anything from drag drive repeat to the circuit to
Mhm.
events that you guys are hosting, reaching out for artwork or whatever needs to be done. That is pretty much what I do. There's no boundaries to what I work on, that's for sure.
Dude, it's been pretty awesome to see all the flyer stuff you've done over the year for sure. And then, of course, the circuit, which we're going to talk about here momentarily. Um, all the artwork been putting out. You've been doing that, dude. I can't wait to see after we get through with registration what we kind of come up with for the racer flyer that will be created. That will, man, hopefully get 200 people on it. That's kind of what I'm hoping. We'll
Yeah.
see. We'll know in just a couple days if we can sell this thing out or not. Well, y'all listen, you know the deal. Like if you've watched this at all, you know we can't do this without you guys, our race car friends that are out there in the community. You guys are awesome. You're the reason we do all this. I see Trevor Brandon here saying point standings. Yes, they are coming. I promise. Listen, the Redwood Rally stuff has really tripped me up. That's been hours and hours of my life. I probably have 10 hours just in moving the Redwood Rally data around. So, anyways, be patient, please. Should have that out, I would say, by next week. Right before we get to Southeast Street and to change it all up again, which will be fine. So that's kind of what we've chased all year. Not to make excuses for my lack of putting those out, but that's what it is. So, race car friends, you are the reason we're out there. And guys, our sponsors help make all of this happen: travel, equipment purchases, and just this whole awesomeness that happens over here at Drag Driver Pete. So I want to say thanks to Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, JWire Solutions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Well, man, let's get into this thing. I see a bunch of people making comments. Rodney Reeves here, got to meet him on 666. Says won't be a problem to sell out this time, man. Fingers crossed. This is the biggest event we've ever hosted anywhere, anytime that I've done anything, except for a couple like car shows. But car shows are way different than running people around. 200 cars, 300 miles is a big deal. So
Yeah.
I'm so glad that Summit's on board with all this because they're not just a sponsor. They're really, I mean, a big partner of ours. There's a lot of times where Eric and I are conversating with Tommy and Jim both about, hey, how do we do this? How do we, what's the best way to kind of try and handle this. These guys have been in situations we've never even thought of. So it really helps
Right.
to have a partner like that. Well, Summit Racing Speed Legacy began in 1968 as a one-man startup and is now the world's speed shop with 4 facilities and 200 plus catalog editions. I probably need to put 220 plus catalog. They feel your passion, they save you money, they deliver fast and offer top-notch customer service for more than 1,500 brands. Make sure to download the Summit Racing mobile app for easy access to speed parts. Find them on Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, or on the On All Cylinders podcast, which is fired up for its 4th season. If you like automotive discussions like this, from humble origins to the social media lane, Summit Racing stands by your need for speed. Find everything you need hot rod related or OEM stuff at summitracing.com. Well, they put up, obviously, we talk about their social media stuff all the time, but the first thing that when you open the summitracing.com page is prepare for winter.
Yeah.
I just want to tell my hot rod guys that means your car still has water in it and it's
Yes.
outside, and we're going to get a cold burst in the next 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know, but we're going to have it, and it's going to freeze and it's going to crack your block. Don't give yourself a crappy reason to build a big bad boy motor, right? Because
Yeah.
that's typically what happens. Oh man, I cracked the block, ruined it. I guess I probably better go ahead and build that 2-year long build I've been talking about. That's
Yeah.
what happens to all of us. And don't do that. Keep the car running and build that motor secondary.
Yeah, I left water in the Fox body one year, and I found it when the radiator hose froze and burst, and I attended to it right away. And obviously the block is apart right now because we're getting ready to rebuild it, and I am going to have it sent out to be inspected just to make sure that I don't put a
Yep.
bunch of money into this block and it have something somewhere that I overlooked. But yeah, I made that mistake one year, and I promise you'll never do it again if you do it once.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's not again. Don't make simple mistakes. Make
Right.
make it hard for yourself to break stuff. Well, Summit made a great post the other day, and it was share the oldest pic you have of your current ride. And Mr. Chris Van Worden, you guys will recognize this car. He's been on a ton of drag and drives in this car. He said that was 1983.
How cool is that?
Dude, that's so awesome. Here's what's crazy. That seems like 20 years ago, but there were other pictures within this that were like, oh, this picture was taken 20 years ago and I got the car. And it's like an '02 model Nissan truck. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude, no, that doesn't make any sense.
I
When,
graduated high school 20 years ago.
oh, gross, man. 25 for me. I'm having a hard time. I'm having a hard time with that. So here's a better shot of Chris Van Worden's car. This car's super cool guy, and obviously does all the stuff, all the dragon drives. And then Thomas Baldwin, I think is this guy's name. Yep, posted this picture from 1972 with his 1973 Rally Sport Nova, or 1973, and it's a 72. I don't know. I can't remember the thing from there, but thought that was pretty cool. Hey, big shout out to camp counselor Robert Voss. Appreciate that. He said, share the live, guys. Let's help grow this weekly show and give these guys a reason to keep doing this. Man, I'll tell you, that's a gentleman's agreement right there, right? I think that's what it is.
Yep. So what's the oldest picture you have of the old truck? Do you know offhand?
Well, so there in one of the tubs of pictures we have when people used to print them out, there is a shot of me standing by it, and I was probably, I would say I was 12, maybe
Oh, that's
something
so
like
cool.
that. Yeah, I tried to dig it out of my phone. I know I've posted a picture of that picture, but dude, you know how many shots we post of like on Narcoleptic, especially. There's tens of thousands of photos over there. I think so. Going through all that would have been kind of tough, but yeah, it's something like that. And then there's a shot where I was learning to drive, and all of the other cousins are jumping in the truck with me, and so like that would have been I say I was 14. So yeah, dude, that would have been 30 years ago.
How crazy.
Crazy. What about you, man?
I don't have too many old pictures of my current cars. I've got old pictures of me as a kid with some of my like very first car, or learning to drive pictures of my parents' cars, stuff like that. But
Yeah.
of the current cars, I haven't had them long enough to have cool old pictures. I do have a picture of the Fox body when I picked it up, which was a bare shell, no suspension, sitting on a trailer. So that's probably the coolest one I got.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. Well, let's get to some drag drive repeat updates here, sir. I'll let you take over on this stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So, some drag, drive, repeat updates. So we have a room and we have a time for the PRI Drag and Drive Awards. It is going to be, drum roll,
I'm ready.
Thursday, December 12th, again at 11 a.m., just like we did last year. But this year we're going to be in room 241. So we got an upstairs room this year. So
Mm-hmm.
make sure you check out the map beforehand because it is Thursday, room 241, 11 a.m.
Yeah, and we're right down the hallway. It's on the same hallway we were last year. So I don't know what. I'm sure RC Wheels is in the same spot they were, and it's right up the stairs from there. But we were the first store there. We're going to be on down that hallway this year.
Yep. So awards that we're doing this year, again, we've got the top 3 quickest quarter mile and eighth mile for the national level events. We're doing the Road King, we're doing the Drag and Drive Ambassador, and of course, we're going to award our Drag and Drive World Champion. Is Goldstone going to repeat this year again?
Dude, it'll take a miracle for someone to beat him. So here's the cool part. That guy laid it on the line for 2023, took home the world champion belt. The new belts for 2024, whew, they're going to be awesome. They are
Yeah.
going to be awesome.
So super cool. I mean, I think he's done more events this year than he even did last year. So
Yeah. Yeah, he's had a storied year, dude. I'm telling you, it's been intense watching that car do all of those events. He's done 4 in the Javelin, and then he did 666 with his wife as a co-pilot in the Corvette. So that's
yeah.
5 events he's done this year.
And none of those events he's had an easy time. So if he does
No.
repeat, he will have earned it this year. I think every event he's had some sort of major
Yep.
repair that he had to do. So we'll
Yeah,
see.
yeah,
We've
it's been
got
pretty wild.
we've only got a few weeks until this actually happens, which
Yeah,
honestly scares the crap out of me because
dude.
I feel like we've got so much stuff still to do. But
Yeah.
on the awards, so those are same awards we did last year, but for 2024 we've got some new awards. We are doing the 850 championship as well as the 10-0 championship, and those right now are super close. Mike's almost done with those, and then we can add it to the drag challenge, and then we've got that just before Southeast Street Meet. So,
Yeah.
man, all of these are going to change here in the next couple weeks.
And really, that's been the struggle all year long. Like about the time I get it figured out, we're right in the middle of another event, especially with all the events stacked on each other like that. And again, I have lots of hours in trying to manipulate the data into where it's at needs to be. You know what I mean? Anyways, I'll have that all sorted out, obviously by PRI because we have a lot of stuff to do. The Road King this year, man, that's going to be a tough one because so many people traveled all over the country, and then you start thinking about Drag and Drive Ambassador, that we give 3 of those away, and the community has grown so much this year that it's really hard to think about how many, well, just in national level events without the finalized Redwood Rally stuff, there are more than 2,100 racers that have competed. So by the time we get done with that, there'll be 2,300. You add in Drag Challenge and Southeast Street Meet, like we're 2,800 just national level event racers. I mean, you start doing that, you start adding in all the regional stuff too. We got
Yeah,
the next 7 weeks are cut out for business for sure.
yeah. And this is a perfect segue. David Maxon saying, PRI, what classes will be added at Buffalo Wild Wings this year?
Oh my goodness, man. I'm sure we'll come up with something. That's where 650 index came from last year. And we've already been talking back and forth. So I'm sure there'll be some kind of something that is thrown in there. And here's the deal. Um, for folks that want some wild class or some new class, or you think something can come up, let's talk. I mean, the way it works is like if you're willing to put up the money to sponsor a class, I'm willing to look at it and take it seriously. And that's exactly what happened with Maxon and Joel Clark and Lance Drager and Keaton Maxon, and there was a whole bunch of Red Hat Scotty were all there, and that class was our second largest class of the event, 2024.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, and you were hesitant to add it in the beginning, so.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I did not want to be honest. I was very adamant about not adding a class, and it turned out to be great. And I love it. Dustin Peterson won it. He's coming back for Vengeance this time. I think he's signing up for 650 again. So see a bunch of folks in here saying hi. All right. Well, let's talk about the circuit 2025 because that is really has been my focus the last few days. It's been pretty wild.
I like this.
Yeah,
Should
Robert
start a
Foss.
Daunton class.
Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Put the Regal on some big wheels. Well, registration opens tomorrow. You're hearing me right. Tomorrow for returning racers. I sent that email today. That was a whole 3 hours of like brain damage of trying to get the system to not send the code to everyone. Because as far as I know, we're the only event that offers a discounted rate for returning racers. I know there's other events, we based this simply like Rocky Mountain Race Week because we wanted to keep the culture that we build here. So returning racers and their chosen co-pilots can sign up and also get a $50 discount on each ticket. So that email went out today. Again, hours of struggle trying to figure out how to only send it to the racers and their co-pilots that were there. I will say for the folks that are watching this that are circuit racers, if your co-pilot didn't get an email, you can share your email with them. But I will be checking to make sure that racers that sign up early were on the list and were racing in 2024. So keep that in mind. Friday, November 1st, if you have jumped on the early list for the circuit, your email will go out tomorrow. Now that I have the process down, it should only take me a few minutes. So early listers can sign up on Friday. So I think with that, we're probably only going to have a few spots available on Saturday, November 2nd, when it goes open to the public. Now, all of that said, I'm anxious, dude. 200 spots is a lot to fill against the biggest event I've ever done. But I think with as much fun as everybody had in 2024, we're only going to be able to elevate that. I think going a different direction on Route 66 is going to be really fun. Lots of new stuff that we'll be able to see, and a lot of things that 666 was able to cover and do. We're going to be driving along those same routes. So these guys that have been watching that, they got their whistle wet and they're ready to come in and drive down some of the same roads that we did on 666 and have in the past. So it's going to be really, really cool. So again, tomorrow for returning racers, which is Thursday, Halloween, October 31st. Friday, November 1st for early listers. You still have time. Hurry up, get your stuff in. If you can get it in tonight, then I'll add that to I'll add your emails to the list for tomorrow. I'm probably going to send that about 10 o'clock Eastern is kind of my plan right now. So then they'll register on the 1st, then on the 2nd, it's open to the public. And hopefully we don't make it but just a few minutes into the public registration. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm excited and nervous and anxious and all the fun stuff.
Yeah, it'll be a good time no matter what.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I got my right-hand man there. We're excited about this, dude.
Yeah.
So, let's do it.
There's just so much stuff we got going on that it's the year has just gone by so fast. It amazes me that we're about to hit December already and we're already talking about PRI. And myself, I have plenty of things that I still need to do for us to get ready for PRI.
Yeah, we really haven't done we haven't gone down that rabbit hole enough. Last year I feel like we had more time last year because there were less events and we traveled less, so there weren't as many pictures to edit and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, PRI 2024 Dragon Drive Awards, room 241, Thursday at 11 a.m. Please be there. If you're not there, you are going to miss the party of the weekend. I'm telling you, this is going to be a blast. It's only an hour. Take an hour out of your time. Come up, support the Drag and Drive community and all these friends of yours that are going to get stuff. And heck, maybe you're going to get something too.
So PRI, we hinted at this last week, and it's not in our notes, but are we ready to show the sticker?
Oh, yes. Dude,
Should
please.
we?
Yeah, I think you should.
I've been wanting to show this for so long. I am super excited about this. Um, so I'm just going to show it.
Ah, hang on. Nope. Not yet. I don't know what happened there. I was trying to make your screen bigger.
So the 2024 limited edition PRI stickers that we will be handing out.
Dude, look how cool those are. I
Yeah.
can't wait, man. Again,
It's not as clear as I'd like it to be on the camera. Well, oh, there we go.
there we go. Yeah. I mean,
Check
dude,
that out.
it fits me perfect. My jaw is about as wide as my shoulders. So here's the deal. You guys know it. 100 a day. That's all we give out of those is just 100. So what the heck? Why are we not both on here? Hey, there we go. Hey, I'll get it in a minute. 100 of those a day. Be there early in the morning. The folks that are going to be working the booth with us know the deal. Only 100 a day, man. And those went pretty fast on day 2. Day 1 was a little different because folks were showing up late in the afternoon. But day 1 and 2 and 3 this year, it's going to be intense, especially with our new location.
Yeah, and they will not be sitting out on the table. We're not going to
Yeah.
have these as walk by pickup stickers. So you're going to have to come up and talk to myself, Mike, whoever is working the booth, and you're going to
Yeah.
say, I need the limited edition 2024 cartoon version of Eric and Mike sticker.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. I think it's going to be a blast. Okay, dude, we got to get to it, man. The show was intended to be a little bit shorter tonight, but you and I haven't talked in a couple days, and all the fun. So we haven't talked about drag and drive in a week, so it's been weird.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. I'll hit the Driven Racing Oil ad read here, and then we can talk about Driven Racing Oil event updates. Driven Racing Oil is the performance engine that can do it all. GP1 is the ultimate oil for any race or performance application, whether launching hard at the drag strip, enduring the extreme heat of off-road and circle track, or even pushing limits in top fuel drag boats and demo derbies. Winning racers choose GP1. Compatible with engines from classic hot rods to cutting-edge race machines, GP1's unique surface cling and high zinc formulation ensures superior wear protection, particularly for flat tappet camshafts, while solving issues like cylinder washout with methanol and ethanol fuels. Crafted from the legendary Bradford, Pennsylvania base oil, then enhanced with state-of-the-art additive packages, GP1 offers the best in protection and performance. So you guys know the deal. Driven Racing Oil on Instagram and Facebook, or drivenracingoil.com.
Yeah, man, love those guys. They are awesome.
Yes, my wife, you can have a sticker for your desk. 100%.
Yes.
Stickers are great. I appreciate that. This one was a very fun one to design. So I'm super excited for everybody to get those in their hands.
Yeah. And
All
again,
right.
we kind of went down that rabbit hole with the 666 stickers and folks not getting them because they were gone.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
do it.
All right. So. Nope.
Oh, yep. I didn't make the note on that one there, but Driven Racing Oil and the whole team is going to be at World Cup.
Yes, I did see that this morning, I believe. Super cool. So this obviously not a drag and drive event, but this is an event that one day I think I'd like to go check out because this seems like a lot of fun.
Yeah, a lot of drag and drive guys end up there, and I
Yes.
wish we were going this year, man. I really do. Summit finally got their foot in the door, and they are there. Driven Racing Oil is there. I'm like, man, we should have went.
Yeah, I was gonna say drag driver Pete, I think, needs to be there too. Speaking
Yeah.
of, right on cue, Mr. Tommy Dupree Summit will be
Yep.
there as well.
Oh yeah, dude. That's man. I'm really sad we didn't go.
Couple of our favorite people going there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So again, if you guys are at World Cup, if anybody's headed there, stop by Driven Racing Oil. Tell them you saw that they were there on Drag Driver Pete.
Please.
So first item up here, or first event, is the Hard Ass 1000 is complete. I don't know if you got to see any of the coverage on this, but it looked like it was pretty awesome.
Man, I was going through the photos just today trying to get notes and stuff, and it looked amazing. Dude, those guys know how to have fun. They know how to have fun, and I grabbed all of the class winners, and their class names were even a blast.
I
Like
saw that.
Bottle Shop Brawlers and Rod Slingers, but it doesn't say Rod. I'm like, dude, this is cool, man. That's one I want to go to as well. I don't know if we can do that, or I can do that in 2025, but it's on the list for sure.
Yeah. Goals.
Yeah, yeah. So we're going to go over the class winners here in just a few minutes in the Molly Motorsports segment. Dude, this one right here. Oh, I didn't put the Street Machine Drag Challenge picture in there. Sorry, Street Machine Drag Challenge. 240-ish cars, it looks like. It's underway right now in Australia. Australia has had a blow up year. That 7 or 8 events have gone on in Australia this year. It's been amazing. This event, the Street Machine Magazine Drag Challenge, in its 10th year running, runs through November 3rd. Looks like 240 cars. What's crazy is the Caldera, the host track of the week, was deemed unsafe to race on.
Oh,
Like,
man.
these dudes show up, get their car changed over, and they're like, "Hey, no racing on this thing today." Like, what? What are you
How
talking
crazy
about?
is that?
Oh man. So apparently that had happened in the past on a couple things. Again, I didn't do a ton of research to find out about the stories in behind that and message anybody or anything like that, but that's what I saw on the group page, and I was like, oh man, this is that's bad. So there's actually no ETs yet. Now there probably are some right now as they're racing today, but that's pretty crazy to
Yeah.
have an event that big show up and be like, oh hey, sorry, yeah, we're not gonna race. What? What do you mean?
Right.
So they've worked it out because apparently they're not going to open next week either, or next weekend whenever they get done, and so they're going to do 2 days at the last track, which I think is Willoughby. Somebody
Okay.
will correct me, Willoughby or Willowbank or something like that. So they've got it handled, but still, talk about a change in plans there.
Yeah. All right. So,
Oop,
oops, go ahead.
I'm driving. Do it.
Our next event coming up is going to be this weekend, which is the Central Georgia Battle of the Streets. Remember, this is the single day event that's at Silver Dollar Motorsports Park. So we're starting to see more of these one-day events kind of get people interested. I think it's a great way to get more people into the sport. You do a one-day event, you get that itch, you do a regional event, and then you go full blown into the national level event and the addiction.
Yeah, for sure. You're going to have problems. I'm telling you.
Yep. So if anybody is in that area, go check out Central Georgia Battle of the Streets this weekend. And then next up after that, we have Southeast Street Meet. Yep, Southeast Street Meet. This is our last national event for the Drag and Drive World Champion points. So if you are in that top position or battling for one of those top spots, this is the event that you need to be at. This is going to be your last opportunity to gain points. So this is coming up November 7th through 10th, starting at Shady Side in North Carolina.
Yeah, that Shady Side track is so cool too.
Yep. Yeah, that's I haven't been there, but I definitely, man, just like everything else, there's just not enough time in the year to hit all these events. But I tell you, I
Yeah,
wish I could.
the drag drive repeat airplane. That's what we need.
Yep. And then next up is the Road Trip Drag Challenge number 3. This one is the week after Central Victorian, so it'll be November 15th through 17th. So again, this is their third event of the Road Trip Drag Challenge this year.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one on the list to close out, nope, it was on there, is the Texas Cruise and Chill, which is happening December 13th through 15th at XRP in Ferris, Texas. And sounds
this
like
looks serious.
Yeah, sounds like 500 plus miles for this event.
Yeah. There's no chill in that one,
Yeah.
dude. You better have an overdrive and be ready.
Yep.
It looks
Yep.
like a great route, and Sean Rose is the promoter for it. It looks like it has a lot of good stuff that's happening with it. Sadly, we'll be at PRI, but listen, this is a great event. They've really worked hard all year to try and make this happen. The first 2 times they had the date set, it was rained out. This is one of the last chances you're going to have to do a drag and drive from now until sick week. And if you're not doing sick week, you're going to have to wait until March to do Kakalaki Run or April to do other events as they begin to kick off the season. So this is a great opportunity for folks to get in. And
Yeah.
did you talk about the Central Victorian Drag and Drive, which happens next week too,
Uh,
November 7th through 9th?
yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah, Dave Curtis and them, he's been messaging. That looks like an event they're going to have a blast at too. Man, again, Australia, dude,
Yeah,
who would have thought they would be the number 2 in drag and drive count?
right. Have we ever had a drag and drive event in the month of December?
I, not that I know of, not that I've ever seen.
Yeah, I
So,
don't think so.
yep,
And
yeah,
you're familiar with XRP, right? With
yeah,
the Midwest Drag Racing Series?
yeah, great track. Eighth Mile stuff's going to be a lot of fun. They're going XRP, Texas Motorplex, and Houston Motorsports Park. So that's where you're going to get just a crazy amount of miles. Um, Yeah, again, looks like a ton of fun. 500 miles plus in a weekend is going to be a lot.
Yeah.
Going to be a lot. So they have a lot of tracks that are available to them, and dude, those are 3 good ones. So it should make for great event coverage for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, let's get on here, man. I was just messaging Jay Blanchard with JWire Solutions just as we started the show, actually. So, JWire Solutions is your expert car and marine wiring and plumbing solutions that you can trust. JWire Solutions can wire and plumb your hot rod, your race car, or your drag and drive car. Plus, they offer products to make your driving experience better, just like the blinker module we talk about all the time. It's just what the drag and drive cars need. It's a module that allows your rear turn signals to continue to blink while your brake pedal is applied, just like stock did. Jay's so smart. I don't even know how to word it other than that, but they are very, very smart. Those guys are going to be registering tomorrow in the Nova for free because
Yep.
they were the quickest quarter mile car at the circuit 2024. So 2025, we obviously give free entry, and they're the cars that are featured on the shirt. So them and Jim Parkinson will be registering for free tomorrow. So it's kind of exciting.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. And then, of course, flipping around, we're going to kind of use the JWire Solution segment as a way to feature some cars. And so here's one of the relays we were talking about last week with the fuel pump and all the cool stuff that you can do with that. Really makes way more sense to wire it with a JWire plug relay kit than run just that stupid 16 gauge Holly wire all the way back there. Anyways, Pinky Drag Week has changed its name. It is now Hayward Racing on Facebook. So if you guys are searching for that, that is obviously Cal Hayward is going to be there. And Eric and I got to meet Cal at Hot Rod Drag Week, right?
Yep.
We were at Martin. That's right. We were at Martin.
Yep. Yep. Martin, Michigan. We got to chat with him, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was a blast. And this car's coming along really well. Again, this car held the Super Street small block power adder record for a very long time, like 8 years or something like that. And during that time, the car raced a few other series, did not race drag and drive. And now Cal's coming back for drag and drive. Now it's big block powered, so it's big block Ford. And this thing's going to make, he says, 3,500 plus horsepower.
Shoo.
Come on. So going to get right into the 6s. So he held the record before, I think, with like a 741 or something like that, 731. And now it's just going to be big boy stuff right there. I see Jay in here saying Baker Engineering powered. So bring it
Yeah.
on. We know they know how to build engines because they build the one in the Nova for Jay and them, and that's got 300 plus passes on it, and many of them, probably 287 of those are 850 or faster.
Yeah. No doubt.
857 or faster, we'll say.
Yeah.
So pretty awesome to see
Sure.
that. You can see a lot of the plumbing, a lot of the wiring is getting done on that car. And then I just thought this shot was super cool because it looks so nice with that polished fuel tank and I'm sure that's an ice tank there on the other side, and then the CO2 catch can there. or
Yep.
the overflow can there.
Yep. Definitely looks good.
Yeah, this car's coming along quickly. And then I'll let you take over on this because I don't know if you've seen this. I love when I can throw stuff at you that you haven't seen yet because this is pretty cool right here.
Yeah. So this is Dylan Peacock's twin turbo Coyote swapped OBS Chevy.
Yeah.
So let me say that again. Twin turbo Coyote swapped OBS Chevy.
Yeah. All-wheel drive.
All-wheel drive. How cool is that?
Dude, pretty
That's gonna
intense.
be a party right there. So you can watch the build series on Diggin Z71 on YouTube and Facebook. So
Yep.
it's definitely a unique and interesting swap. So it's a Coyote 10R80 and an all-wheel drive transfer case. So
Yeah.
pretty rowdy there.
Yeah, this truck was fast before. This truck's going to be really fast now. You know, he had like a 408 LS with a big single on it. This car, I mean, new setups, twins, and a Coyote. I mean, this thing should go right down Broadway. The truck was already proven before. Now it's just going to have more power and be really interesting to see once he pops the hood. It's got a Boss 302 intake on it, so when he pops the hood, it's going to blow people's mind.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
100%. Nobody's
Yeah.
going to expect a Coyote in there.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the 10R80. I mean, it'll sound so weird to folks that don't know the story, so it's gonna make them go over and ask, "Hey, how many times did that thing shift? Did that
Yeah.
thing just shift 8 times while I was going down the track?" And yes, it does.
Yep.
Yeah, so that
So
should be a pretty cool rig. And again, Diggins Z71, longtime drag and drive guy. This was his grandfather's truck. Has been rebuilt. Like he's had a bunch of different motors. It's been painted. He beats on this thing relentlessly. I love this build. And then the red truck in the background is getting a lot of his old stuff that was in here, like the 408 and the big single turbo and all that kind of stuff.
yep.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Love me
This is
some trucks.
Well, and I like this setup, especially because it's going to create so much drama. He has been posting some funny stuff about people, like one guy said, "I hope your brakes fell." Like there's a lot of folks that are they're mad, but I'm like, dude, shut up. What are you talking about? Build your own truck. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I love that idea. And this is I thought this shot was cool, but this shot here just shows, man,
Yeah.
you pop the
I'm an
hood on
LS
that. Yeah.
I'm an LS guy and I think this is cool. So
Yeah.
we can all get along. LS, Coyote, whatever.
Yeah.
I like cool stuff regardless. So then
Yeah.
that's definitely a pretty cool build.
Yeah, that's a neat one for sure. Well, let's move into the WAF racing segment here. Again, WAF is an amazing. They're a fun set of folks. I love Chris. Got to hang out with him again at 666. But they are a collective of engineers, racers, and hot rod enthusiasts who have come together in one place to create, with passions for racing, hot rodding cars and bikes, both classic and new. You just never know what they'll be working on. They create custom parts, tools, and electrical gadgets. That's just what they like to do. Check them out, WAF-Racing, WAF-Racing, and on all of their social media stuff. This is kind of neat. So Chris brought along the spark plug holder with him on 666. I didn't touch it or use it at all, didn't look at it or anything, but he's already has had a ton of interest in it. But with him using it all week, he now has better ways to build it. So it's getting a revision and it hasn't even made it to the public yet. So it's going to
Nice.
be kind of cool. Yeah. So I'm excited about that for him. And he's going to bring that and several other products to PRI, and it's going to be debuting them in our booth. He just told me this earlier in some text messages. So he's going to have that. We're going to have a setup for him so he can display some of the products that are there. And then also him and Raj are going to talk about some stuff that they've been collaborating on for some products and ways to make, keep carbs alive, man.
Yep,
Hashtag
exactly.
KCA.
That originated from right here on the Drag Drive Repeat show. So
Yeah. Yep, that's exactly right. Well, I wanted to do something fun, and we in talking with Chris, he's like, "Man, you guys can do whatever you want to. Do whatever." He's like, "We don't care. We just want to be part of the group, right? We want to be here. We want to be involved. We love drag and drive racing, and you guys cover it well, and they seem to like us, so we appreciate that." So we had talked about doing some random stuff, right? So I put all of the ETs in by average in numerical order for quarter mile and then again in eighth mile. And then I saw how many numbers there were. Okay. And then I went to random.org and I just picked one. And I thought, man, this will be kind of fun. We'll see who we come up with along this. So in quarter mile trim, there's 1,367 racers without the Redwood Rally folks. Okay. 1,367. So random.org, click it, number 861. That is race week racer Kylie Moore in the 11.0 class. She finished at fifth place with an 11.113 in her Nissan GTR. Here's the sad part. I thought about this afternoon and could not find a picture of the GTR to save my life, dude. I was heartbroken. I was like, okay, the first time we do this, I do this, but I didn't want to like pick another one because I wanted it to be, what we set out to do. So congratulations to her. This is the first, obviously, first time we've done this. We're going to get our bearings on this as we go forward. We probably won't do this every week, but I thought it was kind of fun. And so in the eighth mile class, 523 racers have competed. Number 50 was drawn by random.org and Sick Week Rowdy Radial racer Will Carter in the flat black Vega. Love that car. It was awesome. He also does not have a Facebook page. And even though I was at Sick Week, I didn't get a picture of him. So now I feel like a double turd not getting that there. So I see Robert Voss tagging Kylie here. Kylie, send us a picture of your car. I would love to re-edit this and put it out as a standalone segment with pictures of her car. And then I'll find pictures of Will Carter's car. I love the Vega. I just don't know what happened, man. I've got some videos of it, but obviously we didn't play those here. And so he finished in fourth place in Rowdy Radial at Sick Week 2024 with a 5.097 average. So low 5-second stuff is that's crazy fast for street cars.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of fun. We'll do that randomly throughout the year as we come up to stuff. And then this is Chris's car from 666 that he drove around in. So you guys can be on the lookout for that. He is bringing that. I think he said the Sick Week 2025.
Nice.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. Robert Voss, they're saying Roadrunner Media has pictures of the car. And I don't doubt that. Roadrunner Media, they got all the stuff. They were just on point for this year with awesome stuff. Even though they had some crazy stuff happen with the trailer and it catch fire, man, they still showed up at every event. They still put out tons of content. So great job to them. Again, Patrick is awesome and Roadrunner Media is awesome.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. I'll let you handle the Molly Motorsports segment here.
You bet. Attention, high performance enthusiasts and racers. Meet the Molly Motorsports Power Pack Kit, your ultimate solution for power packed performance. The Power Pack pistons are made from either 4032 aluminum alloy to allow for tighter cylinder to wall clearances and improved temperature stability, or 2618 alloy to allow for increased detonation resistance. What sets Molly apart? Well, it's their forged pistons, Grafal coating, and phosphate treatment for peak performance and durability. Elevate your ride with Molly Motorsports, where performance meets precision. Visit mollymotorsports.com for more details. And to all of our podcast listeners, Molly is spelled Mahle.
Yep. You got to know that as you go through there. Because Molly, Molly brings up something different.
Yeah. So we're going to kind of cover some of the hard-ass 1000 winners here. So in the Big Pimpin' class, our winner was Matt VK with a 12.8509 average. So you can see the rest of the top winners in that class. Again, this was the Big Pimpin' class.
Yeah, I love the names.
Then our next class was Bottle Shop Brawlers. Our winner for that class was Jake Phillips with a 14.0527. Again, Bottle Shop Brawlers. Don't ask me what any of these classes are because I don't know. Names are super cool.
I'm going to find out.
Yep.
Super cool stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
Yeah,
see
you
this
can't say
one.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is
Rod Slinger. We're gonna call it that.
the Rod Slinger. Rod Slinger. There we go. We'll go with Rod Slinger. The winner of this class was Rod Lyall in a 9.0939. So you can see there was only 4 cars in this class, but Rod was the winner of this one. Next class was the 235 ASPO. I think I could figure out what this class was, 235. Our winner here was Ray.
Mouniemne.
There we go. There we go.
You can say that.
Yep. So Roy's time was a 10.7342 in the 235 ASPO class. Next up was the 235 PSI class. So our winner here was Jamie Watson with a 9.0878. Again, 235 PSI. Then we get into the 275 ASPO. This was John Basutti. Can't really see, my eyes aren't good here. John had a 10.9254 average in the 275 ASPO class.
Yeah, it looks like you barely beat that class too, by what?
Oh,
008?
yeah, check that
Wow.
out. So John had a 10.9254 and Shay Cohn had a 10.9334.
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
Pretty impressive. And then even looking here at 3rd, 4th, and 5th, you've got 11-2, 11-4, 11-4 again.
Mm-hmm.
So that looks like that was a pretty tight class there. Then jumping into the 275 PSI, we've got Oscar. I'm going to give up on last names here. So Oscar had a 9.7885 in the 275 PSI. And again, looking at these ones, this one looks like another close one. Dave had a 9.8712. And then look at 3rd and 4th there. Nick Humphreys, 10.6618. And Brett Stanford with a 10.6729.
Man, that's awesome.
Yeah, so definitely some tight racing here in the 275 PSI class. And then DYO, we've got Lisa Teresi we're going to go with. And her spread here was a 0.0027 in the DYO class. So
crazy.
Yeah.
And then second place, Jamie Turner, 0.0047.
Right.
I mean, 2 thousandths of a second.
Yeah. Yeah, and even looking through some of these other ones, I mean, we've got some pretty good times there. The next class, Hot One Foxy. This one was John Kerr with an 11.1444. So again, here we got some more tight racing. We've got 11.2520, 11.569, 11.64. So again, some of these classes were nice and tight. Then we move on to our muscle car. This one is Luca Torreson with a 10.7418. And I wouldn't even begin to try second place there.
The second one, yeah. VHE is the first name for the folks on the podcast.
Yeah. Yep.
But look at 3rd and 4th. Alan Bell, 1233 with a 3, and then Swanee there, 1243 with a 4. So a 10th, separating that stuff. Pretty awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. It's always cool to see how close some of these averages are.
Yeah.
And then one of our favorite classes, of course, stick shift. This is Harry Watkin, 12.3135.
Yeah.
So it looks like there was 5 cars here in the stick shift class.
And there may have been more. These are just the shots I grabbed just from the Hard Ass 1000 Facebook page.
Gotcha. And then another cool class that I know quite a few events are doing is the Young Guns. So winner of this class was Ollie Kent with a 0.0292. So is this another spread type of a class?
Yeah, I would think so. And then, maybe that's on it'd have to be on their dial, not on like an index.
Yeah. Yep. So Ollie Kent in the Young Guns.
And then I thought this shot was pretty cool. Of all the the shirts that have been available, this is obviously their second event, but you have just looked really cool to be out there and hanging up. I'm sure those are drying. To be honest, they didn't hang them like that because they just thought it would look cool. They
Yeah.
were hanging them up.
Man, when's the last time you used a clothesline?
Dude, I don't know. I just saw my mom pop in here. She could probably tell us, but I don't know if I've ever used one.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember as a kid living at home, we had one.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know we had them in the yard, but I think typically we just swung on them.
Yeah.
I'm sure she'll chime in here in just a second and tell me.
Yeah,
So
definitely a throwback there.
oh yeah, congratulations to all the Hard Ass 1000 winners and runners up and number seventh places in some of those classes. That's always a really cool, you know, again, one of the events we've added that is on the top of the list for me for some time in the near future.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about some stuff again. Thank you to Molly Motorsport. They've been a huge partner of our program here since the beginning. Eric Grillio, longtime drag and drive racer, George Wright, 700 horsepower, naturally aspirated duster there. They're not just like sponsors, they're drag and drive racers as well. Yeah. Granny, my grandmother, obviously had a clothesline, but we never did. We were fancy, dude. We had a dryer. Come on. That's pretty awesome. All right. Well, let's move into this last little bit here. We hinted earlier that we were going to do a shorter show, but I mean we're right here at an hour, so bring it on.
Yeah.
Just again, want to say thanks to all of our race car friends, guys. Hit the share button as we kind of roll into this last segment here. Want to say thanks to all the supporters that have been out there for so long. You guys are really the rock that kind of helps push this thing forward every time. We appreciate that.
Race
Race
car
car friends. And then thank you to our sponsors as well. We can't do it without them. The travel, the purchasing equipment. I know I say it all the time, but it really, our sponsors have allowed me to focus on this full time, and that really it changed my life. The sponsors help change both of our lives. They help us put on events, all the kind of stuff that comes along with all that. So if you're spending money, please spend money with these guys. We would be much appreciative of that. Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmissions, JWire Solutions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Man, we can't do it without you guys. We appreciate y'all very, very much. And then the gentleman's agreement. This is how this works. Like, we love what we do, right? Takes time, takes a lot of money. And in trade, what we ask for in this agreement is that you guys just hit the follow button, hit the subscribe button wherever you're watching this. Do that for us. Help us grow this channel. We're so close to 100,000 followers. It's like I feel like we've said that for months, man. It's just like we just need this one little break. So we can't obviously know that you do that. That's why it's a gentleman's agreement. We're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep working hard. We're going to keep putting all this time and money and effort into this. But we should you do that. We'd be appreciative of that. And again,
let's make that a goal for everybody that's watching or listening. Let's grow this before the end of 2024. We've got essentially 2 months left. Let's get all of that up and over that 100,000. Let's get us past that little spot we've been stuck at for a while. So if you've got friends that are into cars, in the car community, in drag and drive, any of that, invite them to our page, tell them to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. We're everywhere. So I don't know what the exact number is. I don't know if you know offhand, but
it's got to be in the 33 or 3,400, something like it's a low number, and that's across all of them. That's across Facebook. It's across that's across Drag Driver Pete. Now, if we include mine and Eric's personal stuff, we're over. If we include the circuit, we're over all that kind of stuff. But for Drag Driver Pete, we've got to be really close. I'll have that number up. I'll make some artwork up tonight. After everybody goes to bed and get that posted up tomorrow. Because, man, that would be a huge, I just feel like we've been right there. And I think social media does that. They're like, hey, how bad do they want it? How many times are they willing to post? We've posted hundreds of times, thousands of times over the last year.
Yeah.
We're not chasing subscribers. We're here to cover drag and drive racing and the drag and drive community. But listen,
Yeah, I agree. When
Get
you
over,
when
I
you
want it, man.
yeah, we're not chasing it, but when you're that close, you know you got to get it.
Yep. Yep. Well, we appreciate that for sure. Well, let's get into this last little bit here. We've got PowerTube TV. Again, huge supporters of ours. Love the guys over there. Ray is awesome. Brian Basone, the creator of all of that, is awesome. Rev up your engines with PowerTube TV, the ultimate destination for automotive entertainment. Stream for free on the web, Roku, mobile apps, and more. Catch replays of our show right here and exclusive content from top creators like us, featuring classics like Pink's, Pastime, plus a ton of original shows that they have coming out. They're always dropping new stuff. PowerTube TV isn't just a platform, it's a community. Join the content creator program like we did and be a part of something special. Find more at watchpttv.com. And you can find PowerTube TV at PRI. And if you come by on Saturday, they've got a 10 by 50 booth for this year. If you come by on Saturday morning, you're going to see Eric and I introducing a bunch of content creators from them for the PowerTube family. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Heck yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, I'm excited. Oh, that's funny. All right. Well, dude, let's talk about some Howard's Cams community segment because there's been some things happening, dude.
Yeah, let me hit this intro and then we'll jump in and talk about it.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Harris from the Monoxide Podcast. Real quick, Howard's Cams was founded as a racing cam manufacturer almost 80 years ago when Howard Johansson created Howard's Power and Racing Equipment in 1945. Howard's Cams has always used on-track experience to design the most powerful designs, and today they have an even greater group of experienced racers in circle track, drag racing, road race, mud bog, and marine. They use all this input plus the most advanced computer software to design the most competitive race-winning products. From pioneers in drag racing and oval track to cutting-edge marine development, Howard's Cams is at the forefront of the industry. So make sure to reach out to our friend, Luke B, for your next valve train upgrade.
Man, I sure do love Luke. I need to get in there and ask him some questions because as we start the rebuild on the old truck, I mean, do
Yeah.
have the
Yeah.
right cam for what I
You-
want to do.
You guys can't see, and obviously I'm not gonna put my camera underneath my desk here, but there is a Howard's Cam in this box right under my desk right now.
Nice. Nice. That's exciting. Well, let's talk about cool stuff, man. A new drag strip or a drag strip is opening back up after 10 years of being idle. I want to give a big shout out to TJ Pruitt and the drag coverage team over there for breaking this yesterday. Saw this. This is really, really cool. And obviously, anytime we can have a track come back from the brink of I mean, you can look at this thing.
Yeah.
This is in bad shape. They've got it looking way better now. Chilton County Motorsports Park, I think is what they're going to call it. They're going to do some other stuff, some drifting. They got a huge parking lot there. So lots of really cool photos on the drag coverage page and a great write-up. So essentially, I just took his write-up, added to it in a few different spots. One thing that is really neat is that there are a ton of like 8th mile. I'm not going to say this is an outlaw track, but kind of small tracks like that in this part of the country. This is in Alabama. This is like an hour south of Birmingham, an hour north of Montgomery. And within that area, there's like 12 different drag strips, which you know what that tells me? Perfect for a regional drag and drive. You could do
Exactly.
3 tracks very easy. I mean, there literally was 12 within like a 3-mile drive of what this track is. So if there's that many and the scenery is great, this is the kind of stuff we need to be thinking about, guys. For folks that want to do or host an event, Eric and I are open books. We'll help you talk through anything, give you any struggles that we've had in the past and all that kind of stuff. So this is great news for the drag and drive community or for the drag racing community at all. And they're opening back up December 7th, dude. They've been working on this thing for like 2 months. I don't know how they kept it secret, but this is a huge deal and a huge break for them for it to be covered by drag coverage.
Yeah, that's super cool. Anytime you can have a racetrack reopen up again and get some use is always a good thing.
Yeah, sorry, I got to turn my AC up here. It's I'm freezing.
You're freezing?
Yeah, the AC blows right on me right here. So
Oh, I'm opposite. I'm a little warm in here. We've got a little heat wave going here in the Midwest that it's like,
Yeah.
ooh, I wasn't ready for this.
Oh, it's warm outside. It's just not warm in this podcast room. This thing, you could probably hang meat in it if it is. So big shout out to Steven Narks. He knows what to do for building that kind of stuff. So I'm excited about Chilton County Motorsports Park. December 7th, they're opening back up with a daily driver, flashlight start, all this kind of stuff. They've got a timing system coming. Like it's basically two buddies that said, "Hey, let's open a drag strip. Let's find one that hasn't been ran in 10 years and let's work real hard in all of our spare time for 2 months and then take over in the middle of winter and run this thing." So again, Alabama, they should be fine. They should be able to race throughout the winter. They probably have a month where they're down, but other than that, they should be good.
Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah. And then I don't think I got a picture of it. No, I didn't, sadly. Famosa in California. Not Famosa, Irwindale. Sorry. Irwindale Speedway is talking about shutting down at the end of the year. Irwindale Dragway, Speedway, whatever they call it, the drag strip and the road course stuff.
Really?
So that's a huge blow to Southern California and all the stuff that comes along with all of that. So good luck to Californians, man. That puts them, I think, down to like 6 or 8 or 10 tracks in the whole state, and it's like the second biggest state in the country. So.
Yeah. Robert here saying he believes Olympia is getting the this drag strip up in Texas back up and going.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I'll do some research on that.
Is that Abilene, it looks like.
Make a note on
Yeah.
that. And if anybody can do it, it's Limpy. That dude, he knows everybody and puts on some amazing events. And it would be really cool. I think him being associated with the track could be really good for, just his stuff as well as the track. I mean, he hosts a ton of no prep cash day type stuff. So it'd be really cool to see him get down with some of that.
Yeah.
And then sad news, again, another track possibly closing, Pine Valley Raceway in Lufkin, which we raced at just a couple weeks ago with the Midwest Drag Race Series. They're in limbo. Austin, the gentleman that was running it, he also works for NHRA. And so with his NHRA travels and his track management, it has become too much to try and do both and do the track justice. He can do it, obviously, because he's done it for 2 years. But he's like, man, I want this track to succeed. So they're not signing a new lease agreement for the 2025 season. So if you want to run a track in Texas, Pine Valley Raceway is a super nice track. The pits are awesome. The track is awesome. The facility is great. The building is in good shape. Like we had a good time there. Just you have no service at all.
Starlink.
Be prepared for that. They actually run their whole system on a Starlink. We couldn't. I think there's only one satellite that was set up to run, and it was pointing it right at theirs. And our Starlink for Midwest was struggling as well. We got it figured out Saturday, but for Friday we didn't have it. So
nice.
That's the way it goes sometimes.
Well, that was definitely some sad news there on some tracks, but let's get into some more exciting stuff now.
Yeah.
I see these notes coming up here, and there's some good stuff here.
Dude, have you seen this right here? The rebuild of Devin Vanderhoof's Big Earn convertible?
I have not seen anything.
When I saw this, because he said in the video that it originally began as a triple white car. So it was white outside, white top, white exterior, white interior. I was like, please, sweet baby Jesus, let this happen. Please let this happen. But he's not. He's too fancy for that. So the car obviously is not white roll cage. They were painting the outside pieces. Listen to this: Range Rover Defender white. Dude,
all right.
Does it get any fancier than that? I don't know. But the roll cage is powder coated in Cadillac gray. So the car looks amazing. Hang on, I think I've got a picture. Oh, no. So you got to go to the Devin Vanderhoof YouTube channel and see the rebuild on this. He's breaking it down. What's crazy to me is, and Devin, what I'd like to see is some time lapse, dude. Just because like part one was the car completely apart. The second half of the part one video is like the suspension and stuff all in. Yep. I'm like, what happened here? But it's basically he's updating us as he goes, right? So he's trying to work in customer cars and get all this stuff done. But just the level of detail that this car is going to have as the rebuild happens is absolutely over the top. You guys can kind of see the gray here. It's got carbon tubs in the back. They've went with a traditional 4-link in the back with a parallel setup, and then the wishbone or whatever that is on the top, but it's all like nickel plated. It just looks amazing. This car is going to be next level shit when it comes out. I'm telling you. And this shot here, I really liked the limiters. I liked how they're
Yeah.
not just a strap hanging there. I thought that was really, really cool. But you can see he kept the factory front frame rails through the bolt part of the K member, and then it's a factory firewall location as well. Like this car is going to have a very, very wide range of classes that it will fit, which is going to be dangerous for anybody that's out there. He said he wants the initial goal for this car is to be able to bust off like a 390 in the eighth. So if that tells you where he's going with it, that kind of gives you an idea of how fast this thing's going to be. And obviously convertible. Man, I wonder if we'll ever see him put like a carbon top on this thing.
I
That'd
don't
be
know.
cool. I can't imagine driving at 200 plus miles an hour in the quarter mile and there's
Right.
literally cloth above your head, you know. So it's pretty cool, man. It's a lot of titanium. It's actually a titanium firewall, pieces that go over. It's a 3/4 chassis car. I wrote a whole article on it. It's on the website, dragdriverepeat.com/daily news or daily dose. This is a big deal. This car is in a long line of other cars that are coming out, and they're coming swinging for
Yeah.
those top level, all the stories that all the magazines write about, not just drag and drive stuff. You're talking about this is a street car. What he said is he wanted a easier to drive, easier to drive, faster street car. I think that sums it up. So, obviously he's been 640s in the car. We've seen 630s. Like, I mean, are we talking like 16s? I don't know what a 390 is in the eighth in relation to quarter mile time. I would imagine it's how well you back half, but dude, that's low sixes for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So,
gonna be wild. That's gonna be
yeah.
cool to see.
Yeah. One thing that I like a lot about this car is the ability for it to blend in just a parking lot, right? So it doesn't have a stretched frame. It's not lengthened in any way. It doesn't look like a Pro Mod. It literally looks like a white Fox body. You could put man, how fun would that be to put some like 10 holes on it and just creep on people in the parking lot?
Oh man.
Oh, dude, how cool. Anyways,
I used to have a set of those. I don't know if I still do or not.
yeah. So
But the
obviously,
problem is they're 4-lug, and that car ain't gonna be 4-lug.
no, I know it's got a full floater, 9-inch out back, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. So Jay's saying 610 to 618. Dude, come on. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Derek saying based on Brent LaSala's number, a 3.9 should be something around a 6.60.
Yeah, man. Bring it on. And again, we're in a spot where we're seeing these next level cars being built at just rates that I don't even understand. You know what I mean?
No.
Like the ability to take a car and tear it down, get it back, that takes a ton of planning. These guys obviously at that level are very, very smart. Like Brett LaSala sold the 2.0 Snot Rocket and had the new one built, I think before anybody even knew that it was sold for real. Like, we were all
Right.
waiting. So going to be pretty amazing to see it come out there.
And here you and I can't even get our cars put together.
Shh. Hey, Chris Story, I touched the old truck today. If that makes you feel any better, I am working diligently towards getting to where I'm going to begin working on it.
I don't know if you saw this comment earlier, but
Yeah.
old truck mentions one.
Yeah. I will say this, the old truck will be at the circuit 2025.
Oh yeah.
Put it on there. Steven Narks will be our driver mod in it so it can cut some lights and go fast. Instead of me. But listen, we're looking for an 1199, and yeah, John Daughtry, that's right. Is that an old truck update? Yes, it is. We're getting there. We're getting close. We have a plan for the cart, and then the old truck from there. Okay, enough about me. But that does have a little bit to do with, the can't drag and drive community. Because once that truck is done and running, I'm going to drive it to a ton of events. All right. In kind of crazy news here, Brian Loans posted this the other day. For the last 16 years, 2008, bank shift has been a constant in my life. So he has essentially given, Chad Reynolds will now be in total control of bank shift because Brian is so busy. He's NHRA announcer and Dorkomotive podcast and drag and drive event announcers and all that kind of stuff. So this is really cool. And I think obviously I hate to see anybody move or change or anything like that. Bank shift has been a constant in the drag and drive community for absolutely ever. They host a forum on there that is like the Hot Rod Drag Week unofficial forum, and it's really cool to go back in that. And there's years and years and years of that. Actually, we were doing that for a little bit, and I actually may need to bring that back. But where I would go back 10 years and see what was going on bank shift in that drag week forum. It's actually we saw in January of 2015 when Matt announced Rocky Mountain Race Week and what it was going to be. So it's really cool, you know what I mean, to go back and look at that. People nowadays, dude, kids that are like 25 and younger, they don't even know what a forum is.
Right.
So for us to be able to go back and kind of show all that stuff is always fun. So this is again, sad news, but probably good news. It means, there's no bottleneck there in case Brian was making decisions on a daily and the time that comes from that, or, this gives Chad the ability to move forward with a lot of things. So it's going to be really cool, man.
Yep.
If you haven't done it yet, go join up on bankshift.com on their forum. Well, let's start talking over there too. All right. I'll let you run the next couple. I feel like I've been just chatting your ear off, dude.
You're good. So I don't know if anybody has seen this, but Freiberger has made a video about his experience at Drag Week. It's a first person's view of an announcer's life, which is pretty cool. It's a very cool video. He's done a good job with that video so far. I think you said, Mike, you're about halfway through it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what's really cool is to see his take on a lot of stuff. Like there's just some shots of them in the announcer booth, not much, but it's really like before they get started, it's midnight or 1 a.m. when he's in the hotel room doing his daily wrap up. But it's not a daily video. It is it's a life in the times of David Freiberger. He's walking around, talking to people, looking at cars, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really kind of neat. So if you're not following David Freiberger on YouTube, you need to be doing that for sure.
I don't know if you've caught, but we are in the background of a few different shots in that video I saw.
Yep. Yeah, he I think you sent me one, but there's one shot where we're at the Red Barn or whatever that place was, and he's talking to Finnegan, and then me and you are in the background talking to the teal colored Fox body.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I saw that, and I see it. I saw at one point that I looked over and then looked back. Because you can see, like, oh, he's doing an interview.
That's awesome.
And then there was another one because he came up right as we were finishing with the little rear engine LS pickup truck too.
Yep.
So definitely cool video. I've gotten through quite a bit of it, but it was more kind of skimming through it, watching a little bit, skip to the next day, kind of just trying to see what the video was about. It's a pretty long video. You can see there 53 minutes. So
yeah, I think we're seeing a lot more of that. People kind of gathering their entire collection on one. I need to start putting some videos together myself. Sorry.
I hear that.
All right. And then next up, have you seen the new Finnegan video? Him and Murder Nova? Well, or in Murder Nova's interview is the topic we're going to talk about here. The basically Murder Nova says he built the 55 to drive anywhere. 1,800 horsepower, 427-inch LS, twin 76 millimeter turbos. Obviously, he has no care in the world because he just won the No Prep Elite Championship. But he did say, because that is one of the questions that Mike asked, when are you coming back to drag and drive? And he said, it's on my mind. He wants to have some fun with it. So, we'll see what MPK does for 2025 and where that whole thing ends up running. And hopefully we can see Murder Nova out at, Drag Week or something like that.
Yeah, and that 55 was at PRI last year or the year before?
I think it was the year before. Yeah, I think it's so cool.
Yeah, and the
So
quick
cool.
it was in the quick performance booth.
Mhm. Yep. What a neat setup. And it'd be cool to have that level. They've done King of the Open Road. Him and Chuck Seitzinger did King of the Open Road. I don't know if any videos ever came of that. I know they were being recorded during that time. Um, so I hope maybe some of that comes out at some point in their career. And maybe I go back and look at Murder Nova's channel. I'm sure he put up some of the stuff from it because they had a great time. He was in the Trailblazer, and I think Chuck was in a Fox body or a G body or something like that.
Yep.
One thing that so later on in the episode, Mike interviews Jeff Lutz, right? And Lutz says he's coming to Drag Week. He tried to come this year, but couldn't make they were in Vegas and he couldn't get back home to get the car and then back to National Trail. So it's on his mind. But then this is what this whole segment was written about is he confirmed what I have been saying this whole time. He literally said about his 6 week experience. He said, "Why am I doing this? I'm chasing my own record." That's literally what Jeff Lutz said. I've been saying it for a long time. There's no reason for those guys to really take it seriously coming back until somebody takes them down. Same
Yeah.
thing with Larson with Rocky Mountain. Like we know Larson's working on vehicles to come back. We know Lutz has been back. He came back for 6 week and he just got his ass kicked, dude. Like
Yeah.
there's no other way to say it. Like he was saying in the interview they broke 3 engines just doing 6 week. They were out of parts when they broke stuff. And he said we could have fixed it. He said, but would it break again? And if it had, we would have destroyed 3 engines that they actually used to race on the show. So like you got to make your money where you make your money.
Right.
So he did say 6 week is in his plans. He said if I can make it work, I'll be there. So he said if we can make it, we'll make it. So
There we go.
however you say that, but I thought that was pretty cool, and I'm excited to see those level of racers come back. And this really it it got me excited about where we can go with Drag and Drive because there's a lot of opportunity just in media coverage from our side of stuff with those guys being there because it brings so many more eyes. Like those guys have 3 and 4 and 500,000 followers and 1 million followers and all the stuff that comes with that. They start seeing Drag and Drive now. Oh man, hey, I can do that. I would want to go hang out with those guys because the one cool thing about Drag and Drive is you're on the road with 300 other people that are like-minded just like you.
Right.
Whether that's dudes like us or that's dudes like in the video with Mike Finnegan.
Right. You're going to pull into a gas station and you might be standing next to Lutz pumping gas.
Yeah. Yeah. Or like I was in the cart when old Cleater McSkeeter was there and he was all over the cart when we pulled in. He's like, "Oh, I love this thing."
Yeah.
So,
Was that before or after he waxed your butt on the track?
oh dude, that was listen, I laid it down. Yeah. It was before. After that, he was like, "I know I got that dude covered." All
Good
right.
times.
Well, I want to talk about one last thing, and then we'll go. I promise. The racers are not good spectators. It's been in my mind for a while. I've written like half an article, and it's really just it's shitty. For the article has a negative connotation because it frustrates me when racers aren't willing to go to support regular races. But at the same time, a lot of folks in this post, there's like 50 something comments, and everybody made great points. It's really hard for us to go watch racing when we know we could be there. And so it kind of is twofold, right? If I feel that the big shows that charge big money, a lot of people show up there. Is it because it's a big show? Is it because they charged more money that they were able to pay some money for those folks to get there, right? Like this is the slippery slope that I feel like we could really go down because there's tracks across the country that only open for 2 or 3 events a year. So
Right.
with my work with the track, I see the counts of a regular bracket race on a Saturday. It's hard. So then my mind is instantly goes to why aren't more racers supporting racetracks? Oh man, that is a horrible thing to say. But you guys want to race, but at the same time, if you're not coming, all right, you go to 10 races a year, you're racing 4 of them. The other 6 literally cost you $150 because you already know how to do this on the cheap because we spend all of our damn money on making our car faster or just getting it running. Like I got these 2 out here. Like we spend all of our money doing that, but why can't we go, oh, I'm not a good spectator because I'd rather be there racing. Well, sometimes that doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sometimes you've only got 3 hours on a Saturday afternoon. You don't have 7 or 8 to go to sit in the staging lanes for 3 hours. Like you guys have got to get to the track more. There's no way around it. That is the bottom line. No matter how we figure out how to get spectators in the stands, because the other benefit to racers being in the stands is that you can explain to everyone how the hell bracket racing works and why the dude that went faster didn't win.
Yeah.
Like, because there's a lot that goes into all that, and you can grow people into. You can tell people about that. They get interested. They become racers. So it's really good to support the track. And Brooks here saying, closest track's 2.5 hours from me. That's tough, man. That's tough. What's there saying? Some aren't good spectators. Yeah, dude, I agree. It would be hard. They need to be behind the wheel. Yep. And I think as we see more growth within the community, we need to do this. We need to go out. A lot of people in there were making comments about how drag and drive isn't real racing. Well, I'll tell you what, these cars go down the track side by side. And if you go to a sick event or you go to drag week or you go to Rocky Mountain, they're segregated by class. So like the Rocky Mountain stuff, 11-0 racers are out there racing with 11-0 racers. 12-0 racers are out there racing with 12-0 racers. 850 cars are racing next to 850 cars. So you can put that shit away. That is not the way it is anymore. And so as we move forward, these guys need to give these races a chance. It's your opportunity to go out and watch drag racing. And a lot of times, dude, I say it all the time. Drag racing spectating is too cheap. If it was $50 a ticket, we'd put on a better show. And if it was $50 a ticket, more people would show up. Anyways, I'm gonna step off my soapbox because it just frustrates me. But what's Rodney Reeves here saying? We sponsor our track and go to several races a year. Yeah, just to support Twin City. That's right. And then John Dodge, this is really, I'll make more passes during a drag and drive than I'll make all year. He says, I do drag and drive because I don't have time to get to the track anymore. And that's what happens. But we got to make time. We got to make time to get out there. So, any thoughts? Do you have any thoughts on that? I think we probably need to, I probably need to leave that alone a little bit, but there's some other stuff that's rattling around that I'm going to really piss people off coming up this week.
No, I hadn't seen this. I hadn't seen your post on this, and I hadn't had a chance to think about it. It's been a crazy week.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, guys, listen, I can't thank you enough for being here. This has been, we did not intend to go an hour and a half tonight. We were literally both before this like, man, can we get an hour out of this? And then, I rambled on there for a little bit talking about getting people to the racetracks and stuff like that. Well, let's wrap this thing up as people make their final comments there. Guys, thank you for being our race car friends, man. We really do appreciate it. There's a lot of times where, we're on this side trying to figure out what you guys want. Really there's a lot of, I'm not going to say downtime trying to think of stuff, but really, so I'm scrolling Facebook looking for stories. I'm sure Derek Putnam does the same thing. We see things, people send us stuff, all that kind of stuff as you go along. That's one thing that is great about having the extensive group of race car friends that we have. And then thank you so much to our sponsors, Summit Racing, Molly Motorsports, Driven Racing Oil, Car Chains 3D, WAF Racing, Performer Built Transmission, JWire Solutions, Howard's Cams, Sweet Patina, Power Tube TV, and Racing Junk Classifieds. Dude, that's a huge group of sponsors that are, committed to creating drag and drive race cars and drag and drive parts and helping the whole community grow from there. So, guys, again, thank you so much. We'll see you on the next episode. I can't believe we're at 86, dude. We're gonna get to 100 by the end of the year. It's crazy.
Yeah, we're almost there. And on a final thought there, if you guys want to support us, you guys want to support the channel, don't forget we've got stickers up on the website. We've got big red, white, and blues. We've got small ones. just jump over there, check out all the stuff that's on our website. Again, if you want to support us, grab some stickers, grab some stuff, put them on the cars, put them on the trailers, tell your friends about us. Again, let's just help us grow. That's all we're trying to do here. So
Yep. All right, guys. See you soon. Bye.
see ya.